What's up, Drop Pod listeners? You can check out new episodes of the Drop Podcast every Tuesday and Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find all of our content on YouTube at the Drop Golf Podcast and on our socials. That's Instagram and Twitter at the Drop_pod. No matter how you consume us, like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. Follow and listen along.
This episode is brought to you by George Wall Ford. George Wall Ford in Red Bank, New Jersey is family owned and operated, proudly serving New Jersey residents with superior customer service since 1960. Rye, share your story about your experience there.
Mike, I went on a tangent in one of our episodes previously about it, but I can't say enough good things about George Wall Ford. I needed a new car. I had an old. I loved the brand that I had. I loved, it was an SUV, but had 165,000 miles on it. It was just time, So I hopped on over to George Wall Ford. I saw our guy Jerry, and Jerry and his team were awesome. I mean, from stem to stern, they're there, they're helping, they're knowledgeable. They have so many cars on the lot that you can go in and say, hey, I want a sunroof, a navigation. I want this kind of rims on it. I want this kind of this, that, and the other thing. There's a great chance that they have that car with all your specs, the color, all that thing. Me, I didn't particularly care. I just I was like, hey, I want to be high up in the car, right? I need an SUV. I'm a big guy. I got a dog. I got golf clubs. I got beach chairs in the summer. I need something that's a little more rugged, a little more. Again, I like to be higher in my car. And I went and saw Jerry. He pointed me in the right direction. And again, it's awesome to have that kind of help and support from your salesman to the finance guy to even they got somebody who helps you set up your car, right? I got an app on my phone now that's got my auto start on it. I can locate my car if I don't know where it is. I could take a trip to Japan if I wanted to and be like, did I lock my car? And I can go into the app and lock my car. So even people helping you set up that stuff, just the hands-on approach over there is incredible. So if you need a car, head on over to George Wall. And go ask for Jerry. They were awesome there. Again, stem to stern from everybody. I can't say enough good things about it. It was an unbelievable experience.
So to Ryan's point, there isn't a better place to shop for a brand new car. Just call 732-704-1932 and ask for Jeremy Wall. George Wall Ford in Red Bank for all your car buying needs. This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Kulat.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back to Interview Thursday. We got a great interview for you guys today. We have Doug and Matt of Leveret Socks. Leveret US is their sock company's name on Instagram, and it's where you go to on the internet to find them, get their socks, buy their socks, go see what they're all about. But basically, Doug and Matt have found an opportunity to enhance your golf fits, right? It's not just about plain white socks. It's not just about black socks anymore. These guys have a wonderful, wonderful sock. It is soft. It is comfortable. It is cushiony. It is terrific and looks good, feels good. And it comes in a variety of colors, not just your standard black, white, gray kind of socks. They're enhancing your golf fits with more people wearing these, the jogger kind of situations or even just wearing shorts in general. It's an opportunity to kind of match and kind of mold your golf fit more or less, kind of continue to make it pop more. And I know that that's a big thing these days in the golf world. So these guys have done it. They're terrific. With what their branding is, their marketing, and all that kind of stuff. They've really got a good thing going on. So Mike and I joined them for an interview down at Great Bay Country Club down in South Jersey. Got to play with them, interview them, and then as you saw on Tuesday, Mike and I, recorded some stuff down there and talked about our experience. So here's our interview with Doug and Matt of Leveret Socks. Enjoy.
So today's guest, listen, we have ourselves a treat here. We are at Great Bay with the co-founders of Leveret Socks, Matt Crowley and Doug Rebels. Guys, thank you so much for having us today.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it. This is a cool
already a cool experience at this like cool little locker room, the card table here. It's
I
gonna
think,
be a good day.
yeah, and I think one of the things that we've talked about a lot is when we like something, we like it. And I think when Doug and I touched base about the socks, I was like instantly glued to these things. And I think before we get into the whole sock itself, why don't you guys give us a little bit of background about you guys, how you got here, how it came to the sock business, and kind of that whole story.
So me and Doug have known each other for probably 25 years. So I was the pro at Stone Harbor for the 20 years, been at Great Bay now for about 3 years. And one day Doug came to me and goes, hey, I know you know a lot about the golf industry and apparel. He goes, I want to start a clothing company with you. And I simply said to him, I'll start a company with you, but it's going to be a sock company. And his eyes lit up a little bit, kind of more in wonder, like, what do you mean socks?
And I never even wore socks. I hated socks.
Yeah, he never wore socks.
I never
don't know
wore
how somebody
socks.
doesn't wear socks, but, I don't know how you don't wear socks, to be honest with you. That being said.
It's all about the tan line,
Yeah.
right? That extra inch of tan.
Yeah. So anyway, all the years I've been in business, you see all these flashy colors with shirts and, accessories and all that, but socks always stayed the same. It was black, white, gray if you're lucky, tan, right? So there's no colors, but everything else was expanding except for the sock industry. So that's kind of where the concept came from is, match your socks to your outfit, just kind of like everything else that you're doing, the shoes, belts, right? Everything is matching, hats, color of the logo. So that's kind of how it formulated, and that's where we are now, and we're trying to expand the business with customization now. But that was the basis of the whole beginning of the company was getting socks to be relevant in pro shops.
Matt always said that everything in a pro shop is a line item. He wanted to create something when we brought this concept together to make socks a line item, which is just like he said, everybody has colorful Pantone colors of greens or whatever color you want to name. There's a million of them, but nobody brought that aspect to golf, which guys are worse than girls when we play golf. I mean, everything has to match. It's pretty bad. And when you can open your drawer and start your outfit with our socks,
Which is a lot of now. Yeah.
which is how people actually get dressed now,
Yeah.
is pretty cool to see.
That is. Wow. And cool that you had that perspective of like you saw all this other stuff coming in and saw this vacuum of like everybody's doing shirts, pants, belts, but we're missing the bottom part here, missing the socks.
Right.
So having that perspective.
One missing fashion piece.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the one thing, as we were talking about before the show, was I never really cared about the sock. I think I'd always just put on whatever brand was in the drawer and just said I'm doing it, and then all of a sudden
Because it was always white.
yeah, it was just there. It was like, all right, it's white or black.
White goes with everything.
White or black. I got my
White in the
shoe.
summer, black in the fall.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it was like, all right, no matter what, like I'm wearing it. But then when you had dropped these off to me and I put these on, I was like, wow, this is the real deal. And I'm not one to like talk something up and not fully believe it, but it's gotten to the point for me where if I go running in the morning, I'm not putting on the other sock. I'm still wearing this sock. I go golfing, I'm wearing this sock.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those things that I think a lot of us take for granted until you put on something as comfortable, as good as this. And I think that's something I think a lot of people will learn the minute they put them in, because one thing I was told, like, oh, Mike, it is a little thin. And then all of a sudden they put it on, they're like, all right, never mind. I take back any negative thing I said. Is the goal with the sock company to expand into more country clubs, retail market? Like, what is the goal with the sock?
There's so many verticals that you could go with the sock. Just like you said, there's running, there's pro shop. What's the new latest and greatest thing? Pickleball.
Pickleball.
There's a million things athletically, and our sock checks the box on everything. Whether you're looking for something moisture wicking, all the technology that's in there, odor wicking, and we actually, so many people have come to us and said, are you going to make another style of sock? I can't answer that question, but people say, well, I like a no-show. Well, that's not who we are.
Yeah.
the reason why
we want it to show.
The reason why we created the sock
Yeah,
is it's beefed up on the Achilles to eliminate that. Every season everybody's buying a couple new pair of shoes. They're getting that blister. We wanted to beef that up, but we also wanted to have a pop of color.
Yeah.
And that's the concept that Matt had come to me with and said, listen, I don't want it high. I don't want it no-show. I want it perfect. So when we did design the sock, there was a lot that went into it, not only the colors, but the design of the sock as well.
Yeah, they were gradually coming out, we had a new color combination coming out, an orange and peach, and so we'll gradually, every season, we might take some out of the line, add some, do some seasonal stuff. We just came out with the USA sock, which, with the Olympics, and obviously the election coming on shortly, stuff like that. We did a yellow sock with a skull and crossbow, not our logo, but something different to keep it fresh, right? And talking about the country clubs, once we can finally get into maybe some college institutions, just anything you can put your logo on. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a bar or if it's this. If you can put your logo on it, we can do it for you. We put the logo on the packaging. We put the logo on the sock. All right. So it's the customization of it is, we are pretty much the only ones that do it that I know of this well in the country as far as what we do. There's a couple that try to do it, but they're not really doing it. Right. And like I said, we were talking about everyone wears socks, except for that 1% of the population that chooses not to wear socks, which whoever they are, I don't know. But anyway, they're going through shoes.
As long as they're not with sandals, right? As long as you're not wearing socks and sandals.
Socks and sandals.
100%.
But everywhere socks. I don't care what you're doing. You're putting socks on in the morning, right?
Yes.
Unless you're going to the beach, right? Exactly, stuff like that. So it's everybody. You need socks.
Yeah.
It's summertime, the perfect time to get that new boat you've been dreaming about. Comstock Yacht Sales, your trusted local boating source since 1973, now has 2 locations. Visit their new sales center in Seabright. In addition to their original 50-year-old family business in Brick, Comstock is the largest dealer for Grady White boats, offering 22 models to suit every size and budget. Stop by either location any day of the week to explore their impressive Grady lineup tailored to meet your family's needs. Don't forget, check out their full inventory of new and pre-owned boats online anytime at ComstockYachtSales.com. Get your Grady today. I think I was always under the, I'm a big no-show sock guy. Like the running joke is like, Mike, this is so old school. You need to get something that's more on your calf, higher up. Yeah. So for me, I can't lie. Even I was hesitant when I put them on the first time. I was like, all right, wow, this is not what I'm accustomed to wearing. Mm-hmm. But then it got to the point where it's like, it is just so damn comfortable that it's like, I don't want to say you get used to it, but it's just like, all right, you can now see the reasoning why it is a little higher. Because, like you said, with the blisters, dude, that's the last thing.
And even with the new shoe designs now, like G-Force is very big, and then even FootJoy now, like all of them have that high heel back for the shoe for more for support, right? Mm-hmm. So more golf shoes, and even the running shoes are starting to get there a little bit for ankle support and all that kind of stuff. So, so that's why you see that high back heel just to make sure you're covering up. So, like you said, the blister-proof technology, as we call it.
Yeah, listen, it's true.
We'll throw out all moisture wicking.
Because when you were heading down a Tobacco Road in Pinehurst with Dad, I said, make sure Dad's got socks on. So
yeah, listen, it's one of those things, and I was saying this before we got started. Is when I was on vacation, I said to my mom, like, listen, they live down in Jupiter. They walk 3 miles every day. They're very active, and I said, do me a favor, wear these. I'm not going to say anything to you because they know how I can be in terms of if I like it, I like it. And that night I said, how did you feel? And her first response was like, do you have a second pair? So like, it's one of those things that I think once someone puts them on and tries them, it's going to be like, all right, Mike isn't just blowing a bunch of smoke. It is really, really good.
Yeah.
Is there any way, like, okay, you have the idea, you're going to do socks. What's the process like to find a place that's going to make these socks for you? Like, how does that all work?
Her name is...
So that comes full circle of, number one, you need to be able to deliver the highest quality product to the clubs that we deliver to. Mm-hmm. the clubs that we're delivering to would not give us, and I say this with highest regards, they would not give us the honor to supply a sock exclusively to their pro shop if it wasn't of the highest quality.
For sure.
So with that being said,
Because I know you're in such I know it's like you got some big clubs under the names there. Yeah.
But there's some big name clubs. We're not gonna. That's not who we are. We're not gonna drop names here, but we are in some very high-end, prestigious clubs. Mm-hmm. And they give us the honor of being in those clubs, and that means a lot to us. Do we want to sell them socks one time? No, we want to sell them socks for many, many years to come, keep the quality as high as it could be, work on packaging, taking feedback from our clients and taking those metrics and building a better brand every year. That's what we're looking to do.
Yeah, we're pretty much in our second full season. COVID gotten away from distribution, so we kind of put a little time out on the business just because of COVID, pretty much like everybody else did in the world, right? So kind of this is our second full year, and see how everything's kind of evolving and growing. And our biggest kickback when we go try to give our sales pitch, and they like it, but their biggest thing is, well, we already have too many socks left over. I won't name the name of that company that the socks are there, but evidently those socks aren't selling, right? So that's their biggest kickback is we already have too many socks.
Right.
Well, there's a reason you have too many socks, because they suck and they don't sell. So just bring mine in, see how they sell, and then whatever, I'll buy those off you maybe in a year from now.
And they're also either in a basket, under a table, under the pro's desk, in the bathroom. I don't know where they're at, but
they're not featured.
There's no display.
And that's a reason that we strategically partnered with Signs by the Sea. And we do create a custom display for every custom order that comes in.
Yeah.
It's strategically placed throughout the pro shop.
Yeah.
And it creates a revenue vehicle for the pro shop. An additional revenue vehicle instead of just sitting somewhere and collecting dust.
Yeah.
We were in a pro shop the other day. It was a white sock that turned brown from dust, and it was just sitting there. And Matt and I said, well, we must be doing something right.
Yeah. So it's key. The display is key to obviously
it is.
Front and center, right?
Well, I mean,
and like I said, we're trying to, like he was talking prior, is like we're trying to make it a line item, not impulse item. Most people buy socks because they forget socks. Mm-hmm. People are buying our socks because they like socks. They come back for more. They try, they might get them one time like because an impulse buy. Oh, I forgot my socks. They'll come in and buy a pair because they forgot a pair, but then 2 days later, like, oh, we really like those socks. Where are they at? Boom, and they're grabbing 2 more pairs. Right?
And they're coordinating their outfit around our socks, which is cool.
Yeah. That was the one thing when I walked in a pro shop here. That's, I think, the first thing I said. I was like, all right, well, bam, like, they're right there. Because to your point, you typically see the sock hanging on a back wall that nobody ever ventures to. And I think seeing that out there is the first thing you walk in makes you think, like, oh, wow, the colors, everything just pops.
Yep.
And I think that's something, especially nowadays, like, matters. It matters to so many people.
100%.
So
it's such a cool concept because, like, I think kind of like with us, like, we kind of saw a niche market like you have, and now you've cornered it in such a big way.
Yeah.
It's just it's really cool to see.
We're just getting started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just getting
love
started.
that. To the moon, right?
Yeah,
To the moon.
that's what we like to say. And with the socks, like, what is the goal? Is the goal just to be everywhere? Is the goal to like find a certain location? Like,
The goal is eventually to have our own golf course called the Leveret Club, and
That is our
it'll be
goal.
invite only. So you guys seem like good guys.
We might let
Wait till we get out there.
That is the true end goal.
That is the true end goal.
it is.
It is.
It's always
It is.
So as
interesting.
far as excuse me, as far as that, I mean, in basic terms, that's where we want to get to, right? So we're not going to stop until we can get there, and we think that, I mean, right now our main niche is the Northeast, but we're just gradually expanding. We're getting some sales force going. We're going to be in the PGA show this year. Once that hits, then hopefully we'll be nationwide. Within the next year from now. So it's just about getting the word out, getting people to put them on their feet. Right? If you don't put them on your feet, you'll never know. Right? But once they do, like you said, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. Right? And that's what we've seen through dealing with the pros in our area. Again, they were a little reluctant, right? Because they already have so many socks left over, first off. Secondly, we gave our samples. They try them on. They're like, these are really good, right? The colors are there. They see the colors,
Yeah.
but they wanted the quality. And then once we started sending some samples out, then they figured out kind of like what you said. So once they did that, they brought them in. And we would let them just bring in 24 pair, bring in 36, see how they do. Boom, 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 they're out. And then before you know, they're calling us like, yeah, we need can you just drop off like 72? I got Doug running around like a rabbit out here, running around dropping off socks left and right because they're selling out of them so fast. So
Your distribution?
we are, yeah.
We're trying to everything.
We're trying to save.
good.
We're trying to save on shipping costs, you know.
Yeah.
So
And we're trying to
yeah.
help our client out
But
as
it's also
well.
it's also just the personal touch.
yes.
You're there, you talk to them while you're there, so it's a little different than just getting a box in the mail.
Yeah.
You know, so if we can do it, we're doing it. Right?
We know that a lot
We're
of
driving out to Pittsburgh in 3 weeks to drop off a bunch of orders when we're out there. But we're driving out there. We can easily just ship them, but we're gonna go out there, play a little golf, drop
Right.
off some socks, have a couple days.
There you go.
You know, why not?
Might as well make it like a little sales trip. Too.
That's it.
Because
That's
it's
it.
a-
If we can write it off,
Yeah.
I
we'll write
always
it off.
like asking the end
Whatever
goal
that means.
because I think it gives you a sense of idea of like, all right, like what is the top of the mountain for people? Because I think people ask us all the time, like, what's your goal with the podcast? And I was jokingly, and I honestly say, like, to the moon, like, wherever that ends up, like,
Sure.
let me just keep going.
Right.
So like, the idea of like a golf club is an awesome idea. I kind of love that.
We will own a golf club one day, and there'll be a shitload of socks in there.
Yeah, listen. But it's even one of those things. Like, I guess in terms of like, for a person who's listening to this right now and they're saying, okay, like I hear about the socks. They're comfortable. It's like a luxury. It's a good product. Colors, like.
Yeah.
Give a pricing too for some people to kind of have an idea of like when they start to correlate. All right, I hear all this, but what does it cost? Because I think that's also a huge factor for a lot of people.
Sure. We're retailing the socks for $30 for a 2 pair, which is not egregious at all. You have our competitors out there that are probably maybe 20% lower for a single pair. So when you incorporate all the things that we actually supply as a company, meaning a customized sock, customized packaging, customized display, and we don't bump that price point up at all. We're wholesaling it at our wholesale number, giving them an opportunity to make plenty of points in the pro shop.
Yeah. The pros,
the
pros
pros
are making good enough margins, but that's up to them what they can sell it for.
They can sell it for whatever
they want.
Whatever they want.
You know,
But
our straight to consumer website is $30 for the 2-pack.
And as we build our verticals and our e-commerce business, which is a key goal of ours, having that in line is going to be really critical to our success as well.
Yeah.
Do you guys plan on just staying socks? Or is there any
For now.
thought?
Yeah,
just
I
'cause-
We want to do what we do
I
very
think
well,
we'll-
and then
We'll wink at that.
maybe expand.
How's that?
Maybe
How's
expand.
how's a quiet win?
I gotcha.
That's it.
Just because socks kind of like it,
They evolve into a lot of
it
things.
does. And
Yes.
it's kind of like pants and shirts are like apparel, but you don't necessarily
Yeah.
consider socks apparel. It's
Nobody
almost like
started with socks. They all started the opposite
somewhere
way.
else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Socks were always the add-on.
I didn't know if it was like to do shirts and pants, or is it like
Belt.
like, or is it like socks, belts, like more the accessorize if you were to expand.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Well, I got my Leveret belt on. So.
yeah, well, and we'll wink at that as
Okay.
well. But the thing is, people love our logo. They truly do, and when people recognize our logo and they see it, it's really cool. But when you go into a prestigious club, they want their logo on it. It's brand driven of when they see something. And
Yeah.
when we brought them the quality of the sock with the actual incredible detail of it and the back tab capabilities, single logos, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
any color Pantone that you could dream of,
That's it.
that's where
Yeah.
we...
And even the customization of the packaging. Like
Yeah.
Their
Yes.
logo goes on the packaging. Their logo goes on the sock. They have the capability of putting text on the back heel, whether you choose to or not. It's up to you.
Yeah.
But all those different features were pretty much the only ones that can do
So
that.
every package in that club, in that specific club, has their logo on it.
Yes,
the
it
logo's
does.
on the packaging and the
And the
sock.
sock.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, I assumed it was just the sock. I didn't realize
Yeah,
it
we
was
do
the pack.
everything. Yep.
Everything.
Oh, wow.
I mean, our information's on the back, so they got to know who made it.
Obviously, no, I get it, but still, just having their logo, because
It's
to
a
your
huge
point,
sell.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a huge
I'm
sell.
sure some people that buy the sock and from somewhere and they probably never put them on. They probably use it as like a showcase. It might frame the thing. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Instead of like a golf ball. Look like
They don't want to rip the tag off because it looks so good just
Yeah.
with the whole package.
No, but we love to.
I like that.
We love to have people who work with us. You know, you guys. This is epic to sit here and speak with you, but we've had so many people. You know, Walk, Ride, Play, Bucket List Pro Shop. These guys are. They love our product, and we actually love seeing our product. People going into the pro shop and saying, I want these socks.
Yeah.
I gotta have these socks.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna buy a hat, and I'm gonna buy a shirt, and I'm gonna buy a hoodie and a belt, pair of pants, I'm buying socks.
Yeah, dude,
you know?
I think that I
I'm
can
buying the
honestly
socks.
see that being the new thing. Obviously, we talked to a lot of people like, I'm going to buy the hat, or I'm going to buy the polo, or it gets to a point you can only have so much of that, right? Like, I can only wear the same polo until you recognize, like, Mike, you wore that last time we played, or like the hat, Mike, you just wore that 3 straight times.
Yeah.
Like, the sock is something that you can wear every round. No one's gonna, in a sense, know if I'm wearing the same sock. It could be a different color.
Yeah.
It could be, and I could see that being the buy
Yeah.
if you're looking to spend $20 or $30 in a pro shop.
And as you wash it, it gets better.
Right, dude, we had that conversation with Shane Bacon. We had Shane Bacon on, and he talked about every time he goes to a golf course, his thing is he likes to buy a hat. He wants to buy a hat, and then he puts out his hat of the day when he wears them.
Me too. I'm bold. I gotta buy a hat.
I can see the sock though taking or inching into that realm.
Well, the good thing is
Mimicking
that it's
that,
that good price point. It's not
Yes.
breaking your bank. If somebody just wants to grab a nice something, a little
Yeah.
something to
Especially if the
commemorate
logo's on
their
it.
trip there.
Well, yeah, you're watching football on Sunday, kicking up on the couch, and you put your feet up on the ottoman, and somebody goes, "Where did you get those socks
Yeah.
from?"
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a prestigious logo on it. It's pretty cool.
Or oh, you got to play there. Like, tell me about
Correct.
it, and then it starts from the sock.
It almost becomes. I don't want to say it's a. Back in the day, everybody used to collect a golf ball with a logo on it and put it up on the wall. Well, we had a client come to us.
Some people still might do that.
Yeah.
They might. We had a client come
Just
to
as long
us.
as you played there.
Yeah.
Nobody called.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no,
Not,
that's stolen valor. Nobody's
yeah,
playing.
not gonna name names, but they went to probably the top 5 or 10 golf clubs in the state, and they go, "You guys are everywhere. We got to talk to you. We need a sock."
Yeah,
Which is awesome.
yeah.
That's really cool.
That's the best marketing that you can have, right?
Correct.
Is that seeing that it's in places and it's again you have the display, you got the beautiful work, and it's like okay, if it's in clubs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if it's good enough for them, it's got to be good enough for 98, 99, 100, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That trickle down is huge. It's
Yes.
definitely huge. So,
Yeah.
listen, why don't you give the audience one last thing where they can follow you, where they can go check things out, website, your handle,
Where they
things
can
like
buy
that.
stuff,
where
yeah.
they can buy something.
Sure, you could go to Instagram, Leveret US, no dot in between, just Leveret US. You could find it in just,
And
multiple.
that's LEVERET because you don't know how to spell Leveret.
Very good. You can find it in high-end pro shops, high-end men's stores throughout the state, here in the Northeast, and expanding. I mean, you can find it in South Carolina, you can find it in Florida, you can find it in other states up and down the East Coast, but primarily here in the Northeast and the Long Island market.
Yeah.
is-
On our website, we do have a special that we do. It's called the Husk Pack.
Yeah.
So a husk is a gathering of leveret. If anybody doesn't know what a leveret is a baby hair, right? So that's kind of how the logo came about. Is
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't know
so
that.
the whole thing, we can finish with this, kind of like how the actual name of the company became and the logo and all that kind of stuff. So, those little keychains, we're old enough, like the keychains, the rabbit foot
Yeah.
keychain, how soft, and it used to dye in all the different colors. I used to get my mom one every year from when I was in middle school. At the they used to go to the little store, like the your middle school or your grade school to have that little store to raise some funds so you could buy all this stuff. So I grabbed my mom one of those. So I'm thinking about it's fuzzy, it's soft, it's nice, the colors, right? So I'm thinking, look, I'm like rabbit's got like some kind of rabbit's foot. So all this, so the wheels are turning, they're turning, and then I started thinking about Scotland, all right, the hair, right? So that's Scotland, Ireland, they're synonymous for hairs out there, golf, right? The home of golf, right? And all of a
Alex just
sudden-
got back from Scotland, and
Yeah.
I actually took a picture of a
Of a golf.
Leveret.
Yeah, so then I'm looking up Google and all this. I'm like, what's a baby hair? Leveret. I'm like, Leveret. That sounds pretty cool.
It just hit,
Catchy.
right?
It just hit with all the how it just kind of formed. The first original name was going to be Hop and Stop Socks, but it sounded like a gas station on the side of 95. Yeah, right.
I go Leveret.
I'm like, wait a second. I was more and more thinking about it. I'm like, wait, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Leveret sounds more prestigious.
Leveret came about that way, and
We're not selling hoagies and coffee.
Yeah, no,
Slim Jims.
but yeah, that's where Leveret came from. So
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So,
But you can go online, and that's the full gamut of every
yeah,
color
the Husk
line.
pack is
aspect.
you get one of every colorway at a discounted price.
Yeah.
So that's the whole concept. Is the 2-pack is you're getting 2 different toppers, right? So if you have a navy and what we call ice. So if you get a 2-pack, you're going to get a navy topper, which is the heel, and then you'll have an ice topper. So obviously when you put your shoe on, you're going to get 2 for 1 kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's why we have 15 different colorways, actually 17 now with the yellow that we just introduced, and we'll have the orange and cream or orange and peach coming out probably in the next month or so, and then gradually we'll just start rolling out more and more colors as we go through it. And
Blues never go out of style.
whatever
so-
sticks, so you can
Yeah,
have
yeah.
17,000 different combinations of blue.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't tell blue.
Yeah.
Do you avoid like this, like the black and white, the
So,
tan, the
so,
gray?
so the black and gray was not in our first line because we were a color concept, but obviously black and gray is going to sell. So we just instituted black and gray
Okay.
probably about a month ago. So you had to do it. You know, we're probably going to stay away from the tans, the earth tone stuff,
Yeah.
right? So more color based, you know, black and gray. We'll probably do some different variations of black and gray, like a lighter black. You know, just keep on rolling with it, see what sticks, and take some out,
Yeah.
add some in.
Yeah.
you know.
It's so funny. It's like
It's endless.
when
you
I
know.
think like tan socks, I think like early '90s golfer.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just and golf
Yeah, the
has
guy,
evolved
yeah.
so much since then.
Yes,
That like
yeah, we have a member here. That's
why-
all he wears is khaki, white shirt, white hat, white socks. That's it every single day. He's like Homer Simpson. Yeah, he's got the same outfit on every time you see him.
I mean, they kind of, the wooden classic shoe you would have.
Exactly,
You would
yeah.
have a tan sock on.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's 100% what I'm envisioning.
That's it.
So
I agree.
yeah. Very cool. It's I love the idea. Love the concept. This is definitely something that's going to take off. So good for you guys.
Yeah.
To
Thank you.
Find
Appreciate you
something
having us on.
and do
Yeah.
it so
Honor.
well. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Listen, I'll say it now, and as I've said it many times.
And I'd like to just plug Dimmick. Thank you for the intro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris
Appreciate
is
it.
definitely the guy who introduces. But if you are in the market for socks, or you don't know anything about anything when it comes to socks, you need to go check these out, because I swear to God, they are the most comfortable socks, and you will not buy another pair again. So you'll probably hear me say that many, many more times, but I promise it is legit. So guys, thank you very much for
Thank
having
you,
us.
very
guys.
much.
Really
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thanks.